you see that it's making $2,800 per month, and it only takes a few hours per week to run. In this video, I'm going to show you how to buy a business just like this. But before I do, you must know that most of the websites for sale on Flippa aren't actually what they appear to be. And if you buy them, they can cost you more money and a lot of time if you don't know what you're doing. And you have a higher chance of buying a business that is just not the right type of business for you personally. So before you even consider jumping on Flippa, I'm going to show you in this video how to pick a winner so you don't do something silly like buy a lemon. Personally, I've looked at thousands and thousands of businesses for sale. I've helped over 350 people buy businesses to replace their income, and I can quickly identify a good business from a bad business, and a hard business to run that costs you a lot of time and money versus an easier business to run that's far more passive. Because let's be honest, that's what we're all here for, right? Passive income. And make sure you follow the goal setting principles I highlight in this video as well, because that practice I'm going to share with you is going to be able to help you the easiest buy the best type of business for you and your future goals. And if you don't follow these, you could end up in a worse position than where you are right now. So let's dive in, talk about business models and which are the easiest ones to run and grow. The first business model is content websites. Here on my screen, I'm showing you a content website on Flippa. Now, content websites are websites that are like blogs. They produce content and they make money from ads or affiliate sales or a combination of both, and then sometimes some other different types of offers as well. But we'll stick with ads and affiliate for now. This is a 3-year-old affiliate site earning $1,250 a month. It's 3 years old, and you can see the traffic has been stable and then increased a little bit. And then the financials have gone down a little bit, and then they'll give us more traffic information. The traffic has taken a dive from November 2020 to May 21, and then they decided to pick it back up a little bit. So maybe this could be a bit seasonal, but that is a content website. So now let's talk about the pros and the cons of a content website business. Now, the pros are that they're very passive. Usually you can hire people very cheaply to create content for you. You can hire SEOs to do SEO audits and SEO work for you. And you can hire virtual assistants to do, most of the work for a content website quite cheaply. Also, if you don't want to hire people, you can create the content and batch it out yourself and then sit back most of the year and then just have schedule out your content on a regular level. And it can be quite passive and easier to run compared to the other business models we're going to talk about. The cons are that most of these content websites earn their traffic from one single source, usually being Google traffic or search engine traffic from Google. Now, when the website and the content deranks or does get lower, or if that happens in Google, then you need to scramble to get it back up to realize the same profits and passive income that you were actually making. So it does require some ongoing maintenance. But in general, if you're going to buy a website business and you're a complete beginner, what I suggest is start with a content website or a blog website that is making money through affiliate sales or advertising sales. Now, another con to a content site is mostly the ones for sale are, only single source dependency on just affiliate or just ad revenue. And this can be scary because if one of those affiliates changes their affiliate commission, which has happened from going from say 6% down to 2 or 3%, in commission for the products that you refer people to purchase, then you can lose a big chunk of revenue. Same with advertising. If your advertising provider decides to stop working with you because your site starts going backwards or for any other reasons, then you're going to have to scramble to go away and get another ad network provider to realize your profit again. So there's the cons, but in general, these are the best type of website businesses for beginners to buy. Let's look at a different model. Let's look at e-commerce businesses. Most people come to buy an online business and start an online business, believe they need to do it with an e-commerce business model. Now, let me show you an e-commerce business model here on Flippa. Here we have one which is sillysouls.com. It's making $2,800 per month. Like I said at the start of the video, it's almost 20 years old. And what they're selling is original funny baby products, right? Baby gags. So looks like it's pretty stable. The traffic has been pretty stable. The revenue seems like up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, and then the traffic has been, I guess, up and down a bit and pretty stable. But this is an example of an e-commerce business. And what they're doing, it looks like they're selling their own baby products. And you can scroll through the listing here and have a look at more detail of that particular site. Let me talk about the pros and the cons of an e-commerce business. The pros of an e-commerce business, well, I believe there's more cons, in my opinion, than pros to an e-commerce business, especially for a beginner. So I'm a little bit biased towards beginners because that's who I like to help. The pros for an e-commerce business is that when you do get a good advertising campaign running, you can just leave that advertising campaign running and it can continue to produce results. Also, the pros of an e-commerce business is that you can start to build a brand and you can start to sell more products and you can increase your average order value quite easily from the products that you're actually selling. That's a bit more of an advanced technique and it comes into conversion rate optimization and optimizing your sales funnel. Now, the cons to owning an e-commerce business are huge. Advertising costs a lot of money. As more and more people start online businesses and more competition comes to the online space. Also, it's hard to make sure that your advertising campaigns are running very well and actually have profitable advertising campaigns. It also costs usually a fair bit of money to have somebody run your advertising campaigns for you. So another con is if your business can't afford that, or you can't afford that, then you need to run the advertising campaigns yourself, and that's a lot of work in itself to learn how to become a good digital marketer. Massive con there. Another massive con is that when you own an e-commerce business, you have to wear many hats, such as, yes, the marketing, the paid marketing, also the email marketing and the customer service, then also product inventory as well. You know, you need to be able to be on top of how much product you need. You also need to deal with returns. You also need to deal with how long it's going to take to get the product. How you need to deal with how much the product is going to cost versus how much you're going to purchase it for versus how much the competitors are also selling it for. So there's a fair few cons to owning an e-commerce business, and it can be quite hard to run, especially if you're a solo operator. So this isn't the type of business I suggest you purchase if you're going to buy an online business as a beginner. And I'm going to cover a different type of business model very shortly, but before I do, I want to ask you, what type of business model do you want to buy? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious. I'd love to know what type of business you'd like to buy out of a content website, an e-commerce website, and the next one being SaaS or a membership business. So let's move on to the SaaS or the membership business model. Here I've picked out another one on Flippa, which is a membership business, a subscription business, limemates.com. It's 3 years old and it's making $2,927 per month net profit, average monthly net profit. See, it took a dive, it went flat, and then they decided to pick it back up again. I'm not sure why that is. Probably something big happened with the business, so you'd want to work out what that is, but they've tried to pick it back up so they can actually sell it. I'm not sure if this is a great business, but this is an example of a membership business. Basically what they do is they help you book a house cleaner, okay, in Vermont. So it's very specific location, okay, and they're operating in 2 states actually, Rhode Island and Vermont. And they've focused with connecting people who are conscious home cleaners to, have a clean home. So this is an example of a membership business where they'll usually pay a monthly, quarterly, or annual fee to be a part of that subscription. Okay, so there's some pros and cons to membership businesses. Now, the pros are that when you buy a membership business or a SaaS business, you already have a customer base of people who are paying you an income per month, per quarter, or annually, and they're already subscribed, and usually they hang around with that service. So That's why it's really popular to have a SaaS or a membership business or purchase one, and the multiples are usually higher, meaning you'll pay more for a SaaS or membership business because they already have made the sales, a lot of sales, and they have recurring income from those people who are clients, subscribers, or members. There's a massive pro to owning a membership or SaaS business. Another big pro is that usually the hard work with a SaaS or a membership business is just setting it up and getting it working with all the development, all the costs you need to do to produce, and also the marketing as well. So the big pro is that you're buying a business that's already done most of the hard work, most of the heavy lifting has been done. And SaaS and membership businesses usually can be quite passive. Usually you don't need to have big, massive advertising campaigns to run and grow a SaaS or membership business, so you don't need to put too much focus on that compared to other type of business models. And also the customer service is usually very limited too compared to an e-commerce business. So you have little customer service and you have a really good base of people who are already paying you. So there's a massive pros to owning a membership or a SaaS business. Now, of course, with everything, there are some cons. Sometimes you can buy one of these and that may need a lot of work if you haven't done your due diligence. For example, a SaaS business may need some development work to make sure that it's staying up to date, and that can become costly. Also, maybe you need to refresh or renew or redo and update content that's actually in the membership site or the membership business to ensure that it's up to date, current, and good content that people want to stick around for and actually consume. So that's membership businesses. And there's the three main businesses that I've talked about there. Next thing you need to do before you buy any one of these businesses or even go on Flippa is set yourself some financial goals and some lifestyle goals. Firstly, financial goals. Financial goals are working out how much you can actually afford, okay, without spending all of your money. You don't want to spend all of your money to put yourself in a stressful position. The next thing you want to ask yourself is, what size business can you actually buy with that amount of money that you do have? And then how much would that business actually be making? For example, if you say have $150,000 in savings, now that is an exceptional amount for most people. I wouldn't say spend that $150,000. I'd spend maybe $50,000 to $100,000 on your first business, and that's what size business you could actually purchase. Then you want to ask yourself, how much would that business actually make? Rough figures, $100,000 content site may actually be making, $25,000 to $30,000 per year. So, and then half that for a $50,000 business. So that is your financial goals. Maybe you're looking at buying something for $100,000 that can make you about $25,000 to $30,000, $28,000 maybe even per year. Now, once you know this is absolutely awesome. You know what your first financial goal is, and you know what your first business is, and you know how much it should be making per month. Secondly, you want to work out what your lifestyle goals are. To work this out, you want to ask yourself, how many hours do you want to be spending on the business per week? So an e-commerce business, like I said, the pro is you usually have to wear so many hats and usually quite time intensive, versus owning a business that is a content site that usually is far more passive, right? And then you also want to be asking yourself, what tasks do you actually want to do? For example, do you know how to actually do paid ads, digital marketing on Facebook or Google? If not, then don't go for an e-commerce business. Or if you can't afford somebody to run those ads, don't go for an e-commerce business. Then ask yourself questions like, will you know what type of business model is actually best for you? For example, would you prefer to write content, or would you prefer to hire somebody to write content? Also, if you are to buy an e-commerce business, are you going to be tied to a location because you need to self-distribute that product from your home or your garage or a warehouse in your hometown? So having a lifestyle goal is really important because you want to work out how much time is it going to take you to run the business, and is it going to tie you to a location? And then the tasks that you are going to need to do to run the business, are they actually tasks that you're going to want to continue doing? So those questions are really important to work out your lifestyle goals and then work out your financial goals. And then you'll be able to ask yourself that question of what type of business model is best for you based off those business models we've just talked about. Now, the easiest type of online business to buy for any beginner like I said before, is a content sub website. So go for one of those if you are a complete beginner. Otherwise, the next easiest business model to buy is something that you know how to either run or grow. For example, if you have experience with paid ads and you have confidence you can grow an e-commerce business, that's awesome. You have leverage. Why not go for a business that is an e-commerce business, because you can bolt on your skill to that and provide massive opportunity to that type of business. Same with a SaaS site or a membership website. If you know how to run or grow one of these, then buy one of those. You have leverage. This goes for any type of business. If you know it and have confidence you can grow it, that should be the business model for you. So shoot for that. Again, I want to ask you, what type of business model do you think is right for you? Please let me know in the comments below. I am very, very curious. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause here. And if you've watched this video up until now, please smash the like button. I'm glad you're liking the video. Also, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing super good. And I want to ask you, please consider subscribing, because my commitment and exploration on YouTube is about to explode. I'm talking stories, polls, more amazing content, more engagement, more surprise and delight. And this is the time to subscribe. So I hope you consider it, and I hope to see you on the next video. See ya.
Hey YouTube watcher, if you thought that video was good, you should check out this video here on the 2 best types of websites beginners should buy. Or check out my playlist on how I made my first 100K from buying websites and how to do due diligence. Check it out. It's an awesome playlist. You'll enjoy it.